going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has issued a chilling warning to Jake Paul, one that goes far beyond the usual pre-fight trash talk. While Jake may be viewing this fight as the biggest payday of his career, Joshua's camp is making it brutally clear just how dangerous and one-sided this matchup could be. Eddie Hearn didn't sugarcoat anything, telling Paul to understand the real risks, hinting that even a single punch from Joshua could have devastating consequences. Rising heavyweight Moses Adama backed this up, saying Paul is stepping into a situation that could involve serious injury if he underestimates AJ's power.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price.
Agree with you.
On it.
Many experts warn that Jake Paul entering the ring with Anthony Joshua is far more than a financial gamble, it's a potential threat to his long-term health. Ariel Helwani pointed to Joshua's raw power, elite experience, and history of brutal knockouts, suggesting Paul could be exposed to serious damage if things go wrong.
Has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke show in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's passed his test, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance. And fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. Can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Moses Adama again stressed that Paul needs to think carefully about his health instead of the money, saying one miscalculated shot could change everything. Meanwhile, Amir Khan didn't hold back either, bluntly stating that Joshua could hurt Paul badly, possibly even causing brain damage.
Joshua sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Yeah, why do you look surprised when
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro, you're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly. And this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou, so...
And that's why you can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to... what's it called again? What?
For Anthony Joshua, this fight isn't only about a massive payday. There's heavy pressure on him to win convincingly to protect his legacy. Johnny Nelson believes Joshua is trapped in a no-win situation. If he takes too long to finish Paul or shows any struggle, it may look like he's become more of a businessman cashing in than a true elite heavyweight.
Do believe it because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough slack flack over this, but again, it's money talks. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what to say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, we've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Nelson also gave a sharp assessment of Jake Paul's boxing career. He calls Paul a marketing genius and an excellent promoter, but refuses to label him a world-level boxer. In Nelson's view, Paul is a decent domestic-level fighter who earns world champion money without having taken the grueling path traditional boxers take. He didn't grow up in gyms or climb through the amateur ranks, he built his fame online first, then monetized it. Nelson believes Paul is smart, but when it comes to elite, highly skilled competition, his legitimacy is questionable.
Daniel Dubois is going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea, and he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. And he's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Former world champion Carl Froch echoed similar concerns. He argued that taking a fight with Jake Paul could actually harm Joshua's reputation, making it seem like he's stepping away from true Hall of Fame greatness. At the same time, Froch noted how Joshua constantly emphasizes protecting his long-term health, saying his true legacy is simply being able to walk out healthy.
Burner's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out, but people will argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fire. Now to get my opinion out there, because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights, but I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down a world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him, fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back and be...
But Jake Paul himself is absolutely convinced he can beat Joshua. On his podcast, he tore into AJ, saying he has no chin, limited skills, and moves stiffly. Paul believes Joshua's recent knockout loss to Daniel Dubois exposed his declining durability and that right now is the perfect moment to attack. He claims that his awkward style, growing confidence, and momentum give him a real shot in what most experts call a massive risk.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Jake Paul also insists that this fight is his chance to silence every critic. For years, people have said he only picks smaller, older, or retired opponents. But facing Joshua, a real heavyweight and a former world champion, Paul believes he will finally prove he belongs at the highest level. According to him, once he beats Joshua, no one can deny me ever again.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas offered a balanced perspective. He warns that the fight may be a step too far for Paul because of the huge gap in class. But he also doesn't dismiss the matchup entirely. He notes Joshua's recent KO loss and the psychological ghosts that may still linger, which could make AJ vulnerable. Still, Atlas acknowledges Joshua as the far more powerful and skilled fighter. He says the real question is, which version of Joshua will show up?
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step. Where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some ways.
Atlas further explained that Jake Paul, despite his effort and respect for the sport, will never reach top-tier boxing status. He sees Paul as a hard-working promoter with good business instincts, but not someone who can beat elite fighters. Paul is improving, yes, but Atlas remains cautious, saying Paul can't just go and beat anyone.
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's is going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows not to get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea, and he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just, you know, just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out there.
Boxing commentator Ade Oladipo was much more blunt. He predicted that if the fight actually happens, Joshua could end it within the first 30 seconds. Oladipo respects Paul's courage for calling out a much bigger, far more dangerous opponent, but he sees AJ's power and experience as too overwhelming for Paul to survive. The fight's financial stakes are massive too. Jake Paul recently hinted that the clash could generate around $267 million, far above earlier estimates. Some reports say both fighters could earn almost $92 million each, making this potentially one of the richest boxing events in history.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
But if Paul loses badly, the consequences could be severe for his career. His entire draw comes from being the rare influencer who actually wins big fights. A humiliating loss to a real heavyweight could destroy his credibility. Critics would use it as proof that he's not elite, not durable, and not ready for true professional challenges. Even Eddie Hearn has warned that if things go wrong, it could be the end of Jake Paul's boxing brand altogether. In conclusion, the proposed Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight is much more than entertainment. It's a massive risk for both men, but especially for Paul. Analysts warn of extreme danger due to the difference in size, power, and experience. Joshua sees a huge payday, but also the possibility of damaging his legacy if he doesn't dominate. The event promises enormous profits, but many believe it's driven more by money than genuine sporting competition.
Take Jake Paul, that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size. It was a professional. It's a mismatch, and you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him. He's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds.
What do you think? Is Jake Paul risking everything by stepping in with Anthony Joshua?